My name is Brian Tuko, 13 years old. Before I was in a public school, but now I'm in Still International School.
We are in the outskirts of Huruma, a place known for violence and poverty in the outskirts of Nairobi.
Zasema wangefungua shule kama hizo mob. Junajua huku ghetto. Tunajua tu life ya ghetto yenyewe. Juu wanaweza okolea maboy, unapata msee akona watoi watatu, ajui atawaingizaje shule. Saa shule kama hizo zikikam zinaokolea wasee.
But can you imagine this place having an international school offering international curriculum to refugees and vulnerable children?
My name is Lucky. I'm from South Sudan.
My name is Arita.
My name is Mohammed. I come from Ethiopia.
My name is Brila. I'm from Still International School. I've chosen this book, How Technology Works, because I want to know more about the technology. And this is also something that we are being taught in class, so I want to know more about it.
Our curriculum in Still International School is IB curriculum. It means International Baccalaureate.
We meet with the CEO and founder of Still International School. Come and find out their story. So thank you so much for allowing us to be here in the school. I am very excited, shocked at the same time.
Thank you.
That such an investment is in Nairobi, and especially in Huruma area where there are very unprivileged kids. And this must have costed a fortune.
Well, I would say probably less than other big expensive schools, but yes, we made a considerable investment here to provide the best we can to our kids. Yes, for sure.
Why this investment? And I'm saying this because there are not so many people who think about kids that are not privileged, and for such a beautiful investment. Why this investment, and why in Huruma in Kenya?
We believe that education is the first step to change the world. We believe in the transformative power that education has, and actually it was 2018 when I was invited to speak at a school in Italy. It was the American School of Milan, this very big school for very wealthy people.
Yes.
And I studied in public school growing up, right? So like just very average schooling career. And when I went there, I was mind blown. I was like, this is the school of the future, right? The teachers were amazing, the facilities were amazing, and I thought, how come 0.1% of the children around the world can have this kind of education, that kind of education that is going to make you the next, president, for example, while the rest of us are, stuck in different, in varying degrees of quality when it comes to schooling. And so at the time we were running Still an education center in Greece for refugees, and after I came back from that trip, from that experience, I was like, we need to get the same for our kids. We need to take this very expensive schooling career, this diploma, the IB framework, and we have to make it available to people that cannot afford it, right? Because how can you change the world if only the elite can access elite education?
Yes.
And so we wanted to make sure that vulnerable people could become potentially the next presidents, the next judges in the Supreme Court, the next people to make decisions And the reason why we chose Kenya is because Kenya is a very welcoming country. A lot of people from East Africa escaping war and poverty find refuge here. And since we wanted to offer this opportunity to both local children, right? 50% of our kids are Kenyans, and 50% are refugees. We thought Kenya was the best place to, you know, to try something that nobody else in the world is trying.
Yes.
To be the first international school offering the IB framework to refugee and vulnerable children for free. So that tomorrow's leading class can be better than today's leading class. Kinder, more humane, and more effective than today's leading class. That's the dream.
Great stuff. And
What is the best thing that we should show, that we should show the world about the school? By caring.
so, privileged kids and Huruma, tell us. I'm sure you did a study about what's going on in this area, especially.
Right.
How bad is it in terms of kids not going to school, especially in this area?
Well, I can say something that sometimes, you know, when you walk in the neighborhood, you'll have streets, like especially the back alleys, that are 90% populated by children, right? You go there and it feels like, you know, it's an area where only children are out and about. And the reason for that is because, of course, opportunity are scarce, and even though schools might be there, fees, uniforms, materials can be a big barrier for a lot of families. And so, you know, all parents are trying their best to offer their children an opportunity, an education, but it's not always easy, right? So you have a lot of children just there, a lot of child labor, and sadly, sometimes that leads to gang life, right? There are gangs around. The dump sites are controlled by the gangs, and sometimes they lure the kids with, you know, fake dreams of opportunities and wealth, and then that's how you end up in crime, basically. So I would say it is a neighborhood that has challenges. It's also a neighborhood, and I think this is something that people don't talk about enough, is a neighborhood that is developing, right? Because Mathare has a bit of a name, a bad name, a bad reputation.
Yeah.
But you do have a lot of people that are very hardworking, and I've been here only for 3 years, so I cannot speak about the past much. But if you ask around, people who have been here for longer, they'll tell you that in the past 10 years, the neighborhood has changed completely, right? In terms of sewage, in terms of security, in terms of like the lights around it, it's changing, and people have hope. You go around and you'll ask people, what do you think Mathare will look like in 10 years? And they all answer that it's going to be better, and that it's going to develop. And that is a beautiful thing, because it shows you that people around here are not giving up.
Yeah.
They are not just waiting for things to happen. They are taking the... Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're leaders of their own future. In fact, we are here to support them, not to take the lead. We're here to offer a service to the best of our capabilities so that they can make the change that they are already making, which is a very beautiful thing, very powerful, I think.
I know this costs a lot. How much do you spend on one student every year?
So we calculated covering everything, right? So everything is free here. The students pay nothing. So from food to uniforms to books, school materials, backpacks, transportation, field trips, utilities, renting the place, teacher's salary, like everything, to cover everything. The school fee for a student would be around $2,500, meaning say 300K. just to cover the costs. I would say if this was a for-profit school, then it would be probably like 3,000 to make a profit. But of course, we don't make a profit. So I would say 2,500, including everything, to cover everything that we do here throughout the year, including the trips and everything else. So that's, yeah.
Who supports this initiative? I mean, this is a lot of money. If that's $3,000 per kid, and you have already 150 kids, how do you sustain this?
That's a question that I care about. So thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So Still I Rise is a fully independent organization. That means that when we started in 2018, we decided that we didn't necessarily agree with how other organizations work. We feel that if you want to do the best for people, you need to be free. And to do so, we decided to actively reject money from governments, from the United Nations, from the European Union, from all those multinationals that we don't think are 100% ethical, right? And the reason for that is because, when anyone gives you money, they are going to tell you what to do with it, right? I mean, it's fair, it's their money, isn't it?
You become their viewer.
Well, that's one way to put it. But yeah, I mean, it's true. And so our donors are individuals. So literally, like the next person who sees what we do and they're like, yeah, I can give, I don't know, $500. Sometimes it's like even small amounts. Sometimes it's bigger amounts. And sometimes it's foundations, and sometimes it's some companies that we agree with, that we feel like they're not, damaging anybody in any way. And in this way, we managed to create a donor base that allows us to do what we love the most in a way that makes us feel comfortable and makes us feel like, this is the right thing to do, and we're not just, doing some stakeholders bidding, people that have never been here and that just tell us what they think is best. So fundraising is tough, right? I think it would be easier for us if we had, the big grants that are often given by governments and big organizations. But to be honest with you, like, I wouldn't do it any other way. But I don't think we would allow to do this.
Yeah.
I think we would probably be allowed to do other projects, but an international school in Mathare offering IB to refugees and vulnerable Kenyan kids, I don't think they would allow us, to be honest with you. I don't think so.
All right, what do you think will be the outcome? And in terms of the investment that you've made in these kids, in empowering and bringing economic development in Mathare area and the Huruma area, what do you think will be the outcome of bringing them this education?
Right, that's a very good question. I think we think about that a lot. I can share just something that happened right before before here, the interview. Yeah, I was with one of the kids because I saw that he was upset about something. So I was like, you want to talk about it? And he was telling me he's from here, he's a local kid. He was telling me how his family comprises him and his younger brother and his mom. Right, that's only the three of them. And he was upset because he was talking about the pressure he feels, knowing that he has this opportunity, and while his mother sometimes struggles to even put food on the table, he knows that he is the one who can save his family. That's what he said, right? I want to.
At this age, you think about that.
For real,
that age.
Dude. Like, it was honestly. In a way, you're like, wow, you are so strong and brave. Like, I could never be, to be honest. And then, but you also feel like heartbroken because you're like, that's a lot to carry at 13. It's a lot, right? And he was saying like, I need to be the best I can be in this school because I am going to save my family, right? And that's what we hope to achieve, right? To give these students the ability to save themselves and their family and their community, right? We do say this quite a lot at Still I Rise. We are not here to save anybody. I mean, we can't save anybody, but we can give an opportunity so that they can save themselves. right? And I think they will. I think they will. I think the kids really know the opportunity that they have. They're very serious about their education here, and I feel like they're going to change their world. I believe that 100%. And in terms of the area, even though we've been here only for not even 3 years, like this is our third year, just starting. We feel like we know that there is an economic impact in terms of developing this area already, because the moment you have a school that is that the community sees as valuable and that people respect, they're going to start investing around it. We know that they're developing a market over there, and that there are talks for affordable housing to be built around here. And of course we cannot say like it's only thanks to us this is happening. No, that would be very arrogant. But I think that the fact that we are here is going to make this neighborhood more interesting for investments. So hopefully there is going to be more support coming in, more attention coming in. I mean, the fact that you guys are here is amazing, right? That you guys are here and telling a story about a neighborhood that is usually only talked about, for crime and murder and violence, right? And we're telling a different story.
But apart from teaching math, is teaching life skills, preparing them for the world at hand and the future, which is actually our IB model that we use here. We use the IB curriculum. So we mostly deal with student-centered teaching and also relating everything that they learn in class with everything that happens in the world. One thing that I enjoy about teaching math is that I want to make it really, really fun. We all know that, sometimes when we're kids, people are like, math is like the hardest subject. It's the one that they really don't want to look at all. So I really try to make sure that they make it really, really fun for them. I use different methodologies in my lessons where I get to do fun activities with them before I start my lesson, where I get to collaborate what they're learning with outside world to make it make sense. Because I remember when I was in school and I did calculus, I asked myself, where will I use calculus in life? But I want them to understand whatever they're learning now is very important and it's going to be used anywhere that they're in. So I always make sure it's related with everything. I think with my passion and drive, which was quite noticeable, then I was now moved up and then I became club coordinator, where I was in charge of all the clubs that are happening in the school. I'm passionate about extracurricular activities. We have about 8 clubs running right now. That is chess, debate, drama, choir, dance, environmental, and I know that, and chess as well. Yeah, so we have all those clubs running right now together and it's really, really fun. We try to integrate all of them with the kids to make sure that they enjoy whatever they're doing. We also have Gimarisha activities where they get to go to the library to read. We have F1 where they go to do a lot of research with computers, what they're working on in class, and then they impact it in their lessons. When they do the research about things that they're doing, they go to class and present it in their lessons, what they researched on. We also have gym where they go for gym time. We also have the sessions for peer tutoring where they go and teach each other. We have girls time where girls come together and just talk about girly things, anything that has to do with their body or any concerns that they have. We also have boys time where they talk about boy things, anything that goes on in their life, which is good. So with all these activities happens with them, the extracurricular activities, when they come together plus all the teaching that we do, it really makes a holistic person, a holistic student, so that even in future they're actually ready for whatever the world throws at them because they have experience with things. We also try our best with all these activities that they get to go outside to talk with other students, to have competitions, to have just activities with them so that they can be able to learn from other institutes as well as they continue learning also from here.